I'm sure we'd get to it in the Raw review too, but of course, I saw a million people saying
I didn't watch Raw yet.
so they all want to hear what you think about Kross.
Well, it'll drop on Thursday, obviously, when we review the show.
Well, there's an email question, mailbag question too.
Oh, I'll talk about it then. I watched that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I watched like the first and third hour.
I'm like, I mean, he's obviously got some type of heat, or they're just because he hasn't lost, they want him to do a job and see how he acts.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
It's got to be just some asinine, ridiculous.
Like the fact that Jeff Hardy, who
it's not even the fact. It's just, bro, you don't take your, they've been building this guy for a while.
Yeah.
You don't just job out the NXT guy in the main show in a minute and a half. It's ridiculous.
And that's what I was thinking.
It's like from on a day that the Dow dropped 700 points, you could use that metaphor into like how everything that they do is wrong with that,
Yeah.
So
it just, again, just from a fan perspective, whatever, it screamed political to me because Jeff Hardy, 25-year babyface.
One of the guys in the Dirty Sheets has had a story about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Body sent me Body's got a story on that. One of his guys has a story.
Mm-hmm.
Said the Kross had heat.
It seemed to me like it was some kind of concession to have Jeff win with his feet on the ropes. Because since when does Jeff Hardy cheat? Like maybe Hunter was like, "Dude, you can't beat."
What shows did you watch, Konnan?
Bro, none. I was in Nashville for 3 days. I did go out of my way to watch the Karrion Kross match because when I was outside with the little smoke session they have after every show, which is tremendous, somebody was like, "Yeah, Karrion Kross debuted," and I was like, yeah, I was really happy. And then today when I was in the car to the airport with Jimmy Jacobs, who, by the way, his fingernails are not painted, but his toenails are painted, and I told him he continued to be on the disco list for that. And when we were in the car, we were talking, I go, wow, how cool is that? Karrion Kross, debuted yesterday. He goes, yeah, but he lost to Jeff Hardy. And I was like, what? I go, I love Jeff Hardy to death. That's my boy, and I think he's been disrespected, to tell you the truth, after the body of work he's left there, and just what a cool guy he is. And then I had to see it for myself. So I watched it, and it was slip on a banana peel at the end. He dominated the guy, and then they even gave him a little promo at the end, which obviously makes you believe at the end he's... Yeah.
It's like, bro, if you look at, like, in the WWE, okay, every like they've been on a downward spiral ratings wise forever. Like every month or every few months, there's a new lowest rating. Even though it may be on a holiday weekend, it's like it's a new lowest ratings ever, right? And you're looking at the shows, you're looking at Roman, and he doesn't really have anybody to work with to the point that they're bringing back 40-something-year-old guys.
Let's go back to something. SmackDown hasn't been doing their lowest ratings. They've probably been doing their best ratings.
Wait a
minute. And for some reason, the last few weeks, even though Raw sucked major, their rating has gone up. Why, I don't know.
Well, first of all, the rating, because 2 weeks ago, they had a record low. Okay, so of course the rating bounced back, but it bounced back from the record. So
rating low.
You didn't worsen your record low like for 2 weeks in a row, right? And this week, then the buzz has been back as people have seen crowds back.
Right.
It's brought eyeballs back to the product a little bit, right? So now eyeballs are back.
And Cena.
And Cena, right? So you're just wondering, like, why on earth, if you're having to bring back John Cena, Edge, and these guys, every time there's a major, what do you want to call it? A major card comes around, you don't have a main event, all right? And even like you don't have guys to fight these guys at the top. Like, these guys have been there forever, and the fans perceive them in their roles, in their where they are on the card, right? So then you got a couple guys, like, you can bring in fresh faces. You got one of them's an undefeated champion and stuff. Like, you couldn't figure out a worse way to devalue a prospective guy that can do something on this show than do what you did with him last night. He lost to a guy that's been losing repeatedly in like a minute and a half, and the guy, like, if this angle is, if they're bringing in Karrion Kross, like, I'll give him a slight pass here. If this angle is about, like, Jeff Hardy turning heel because he's an older guy and he had to cheat to win, even though he's a baby face and
take
stuff
every advantage,
right? If they turn it into, if that was the emphasis of this, then I would say, okay, fine. But this obviously looks like politics to me. Like either he has heat, which I guess the Dirty Sheets reported. They said the Billy Body sent me a thing on their pay site. Said Kross has heat. Okay, just some over the Adam Cole stuff supposedly.
What Adam Cole stuff?
They had I guess they had this is the Dirty Sheets reporting, right? You want me to read it to you?
Yeah. I haven't heard this. Yeah.
All right, I'll read it. Because I don't know if it's true or not, but this is just reported.
Now, usually, you've been around Billy Body longer than I, and he's broken.
Well, he didn't know. This is the guy on his site. He sent this to me before he posted it. Right? He said, "Buddy, So
this is not Billy Body who's saying this.
No, it's one of his guys, dude. One of the guys on his site that's doing the. Yeah, it's the Billy Body site.
But is he vouching for it?
Yeah, he put it on the site.
All right.
You know. Actually, I'm in the wrong thing here. So let me see. So let me see. The hell is? Oh, you know what? It's in the WhatsApp. This one.
I mean, compare it and think about when Punk was Paul's boy back in the day. He came up, he was undefeated, and then as soon as Paul was out of favor, they jobbed Punk to Chavo and Hardcore Holly and all this, and took him down a few pegs for a while. And it was obviously
Punk didn't do himself any favors either.
Basically, the story says there's some heat. The issues came to the forefront when Kross called Adam Cole Little Man during their interaction 7 weeks back. Cole then proceeded to respond by burying the entire Kross gimmick, saying he was nothing without the company behind him, the girl in the entrance. As NXT used bullet points over full scripting, none of this was discussed before, and the end result saw Kross going off on Adam Cole backstage. That's interesting. I don't know about that. Okay, so that's that's a story. That'll be interesting, right? And basically they said he's jealous of Scarlett and stuff and everything and all that, but just whatever.
Who's jealous of Scarlett?
Kross.
Mm-hmm.
He's a but I don't know if this is all.
Do you buy that?
Hearsay, right?
I don't.
I don't know why they'd bring him up, but they have separated him from Charlotte on these shows and stuff. I mean, it looks like to me, and this is what it looks like. Okay, is that Vince doesn't, because they've had him working they were bringing him up to work him in front of live crowds, like on main event. Did you see that, like a dark match, right?
He wrestled
this
Shelton.
Looks like to me,
yeah.
This looks like to me these old school top the people in charge over there in Raw are not interested in NXT, nor do they really even have any clue what's going on in that product. That all you have to do is click it on. It's like they look like they don't watch it. Okay, which I would bet money that they don't. Okay, I would bet a lot of money that they don't.
Yeah.
Right, and so I just think it's.
Let me
finish. My thing is this looks to me like here's a guy coming up and stuff, and bro, there's obviously tension between Triple H and Vince.
Yeah,
because taking the NXT champion and doing what they did in the middle of the hot angle he's doing on NXT with Joe, right? And he's undefeated and just beat him like this. This looks to me like they're testing the guy to see how he responds to doing a job. That's exactly what this looks like to me. I mean, and that's what I would bet money that's what this is, 100%, right?
You'd think logically he'll come.
So what is Cody? What are we going to say? What do you think?
Yeah.
I just think a couple things. Number one is, if you don't watch the show, how can you bring people up if you don't know how good they are? And if you're not going to use them, why are you bringing them up? Okay, I don't understand that logic.
Right.
The other thing is, that's exactly what I thought. They have a history, and I've been told by people in the office of this, so I know it to be true, that they like to test people. And they were like, all right, let's see how he reacts to this, right?
And he'll pass those tests.
Right.
I know this kid, right? He's very respectful backstage at the office and guys and stuff.
And he knows it's Jeff Hardy, and he probably knows they're testing him. He knows all of that. He's got a humongous wrestling IQ and just a personal high IQ,
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why they're testing.
But that was stupid. There was no reason to test him like that. If you wanted to test him some other way.
It's like if you look at if your show is like, if the ratings of your show if you have what do you call fiduciary responsibility.
Fiduciary
responsibility to your stockholders.
Right.
Okay. And let's say that the ratings of your show are directly tied into your stock. Let's say, for instance, that the show keeps going down, your stock price is going to go down, right?
Right.
Why would you take a commodity and just completely devalue it as you throw it on your show? Right. It says
because you're not going to put Jeff against Cena. You're not going to put Jeff against Roman. You're not going to put Jeff against Brock, but you could put Kevin. So why are you already shooting yourself in the foot just to see his attitude.
Let me tell you why.
Find out some other way. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you why.
Don't beat him in his debut.
We get upset when we look at this, and as fans look at this too, and fans at NXT look at this, and even they said there was a report today that the talent in NXT was demoralized.
Right.
Watching the thing, like you see in the boss cares nothing like I don't even care about your product, right? Is
right.
What okay. But then you look at Raw, and bro, how long have we been doing this show? 3, 4, 5 years.
Right.
5 years.
Has anybody debuted well on that show?
Kevin Owens.
Bobby,
really.
let me throw some names out there. Bobby Lashley.
No.
Right. No,
absolutely not. Brutal, right?
Right.
Hey, but look where he is now.
Right. Remember, they were looking at his hamstrings and his sisters, and it was ridiculous.
He was with Lana. They were getting married. It's like, hey, bro, you look at the NXT call-ups, and you look at how long these guys took. It's bro, the only guy that I can recall that's debuted on those shows on those shows from that debuted in a very positive role, like straight from the indies on the show, was AJ.
And even he had some bumps.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. No. Because when I was in the room with Jimmy Jacobs, who continues to be on the disco list, he brought up this is what he told me. He goes, the problem with Vince is he's a madman. He goes, and in 2 months he might love Kross. And he brought up AJ Styles as an example. He said when AJ Styles came in, he said he didn't want him talking on the microphone because he said he sounded too southern.
Yeah. Southern, right? Yeah.
Right, and he was bearing him. So he really didn't start as good as you think.
No.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, he was wrestling. 2 months later, he was wrestling Reigns for the title. So he's right.
There is this constant. What's the word I want to use? Stubbornness.
Right.
For sure.
From Vince McMahon, since social media has been around, that if there is buzz about anybody coming in, his immediate response, I don't see it.
Right.
And like that's it's like the person that, bro, you have so many people in life like this.
Right.
When you tell them something, their immediate reaction is, I don't like just it. Completely. So it's like politics. It's like like this. Like everything one side says, the other side immediately says, well, I don't see it. And that's what this is. Yeah, it's Vince McMahon versus the perception of fans of every prospect that comes along. Yeah, and he's probably looking at this going like, these people don't know what they're talking about.
Look what they did with Brian.
And there's definite heat, because I remember back in the day when ADR was still in WWE, right? And Hunter didn't like him, so they would always have problems. And
why is that? I thought ADR would be the type of guy that Hunter would like.
No, he didn't. And so ADR would go over Hunter's head and talk to the boss, and he would tell,
God.
And he would, and no, but here's the thing, that Vince would tell ADR, hey, remember, I run this place, like letting him know, you can come to me because I still run this. And Triple H hated that. You know what I'm saying? So
so there's like, bro, there's
heat between Vince and H, without a doubt,
because he buries all of the NXT's prospects.
Yeah.
Keith Lee comes up and just he doesn't want.
Balor.
I mean, like every guy that comes out is like, and it's like now it's like, listen, they bring Finn up, okay, then they send Finn back down,
right?
And then it's like, well, they realize like, why did we send this guy back down? He's talented.
And what did they really?
We have to bring him back up.
Joe told me he was injured, but besides the fact that he's injured, what did Damian Priest really get out of this whole Bad Bunny?
Nothing.
Nothing
at all. Yeah.
And and here's another one that I was mad about. I didn't see the match, but really, does Charlotte Flair really need the belt? Does she need to beat Rhea Ripley, who they did absolutely nothing with? Really, they did nothing with her.
But they moved Konnan.
Bro, she's like Kevin Kross. She's a star just standing there doing nothing.
But you don't know what happened. You don't know what happened last night then. Because Charlotte lost the belt to the superhero girl, Nikki Ash.
Oh my God!
She cashed in the Money in the Bank at the end of the show, man, and she's the champion. So that's all they moved it from Rhea to Charlotte to Nikki Ash.
That's brutal.
Like I said, bro. Like I said, the show is being written for the people that watch Romper Room, and like we're just out of the loop. Like we don't care. It's like the Romper Room mentality crowd. That's who they're writing the show for. So let's make the superhero goofy character the champion. So I mean, it's.